So the first official look at the Galaxy Tab S11 Ultra is here, and there are 4 changes, and honestly I think 3 of them are gonna rub a lot of people the wrong way. Let's get into it. What's up guys, Sal here. So this image comes courtesy of Evan Blass. It's official, but it's also not great. The resolution is low, but it still gives us a pretty decent idea of what Samsung's doing with this new tablet. And right off the bat, there are 4 things that stands out, and yeah, most of them are gonna be controversial. First off, let's talk about the notch. Samsung has apparently replaced the wide notch from the previous generation with what looks like a V-shaped one. Now, I've never really understood notches on tablets or laptops. You mean to tell me you can squeeze a high-quality selfie camera into that tiny cutout on a phone, but suddenly on a tablet you need this massive chunk cut out of the screen to make room for one? And it's usually not even a great camera to begin with. That said, the notch is smaller this time, which is technically better, but visually it's still a notch. And here's the bigger issue. Based on what we're seeing in this image, the Tab S11 Ultra no longer has dual front-facing cameras. It's just a single camera now, which immediately raises the question, is Samsung ditching features like auto framing for video calls? That's something we've had for a while, and it's pretty useful. Now yes, it's technically possible to do auto framing with a single camera. Apple does it, so Samsung could too. But the change does raise some eyebrows. Next major change is with the S Pen. And this one's weird. So if you look closely at the back of the tablet, you'll notice something's missing. There's no visible magnet area for attaching or charging the S Pen. Samsung's tablets have had that color designated strip on the back for years. It's where the S Pen sticks magnetically and charges wirelessly. But here, it's just gone. Now what could that mean? Well, a few possibilities. One, maybe it's just a design choice. The magnets could still be in the same spot, but they dropped the visible marking for a cleaner look. That's plausible. 2, Samsung might have moved the S Pen charger to the side of the tablet, similar to how Apple does it. That's also possible. Or 3, and this was the most concerning, Samsung may have removed the Bluetooth functionality from the S Pen altogether. I know that sounds ridiculous, but remember what they said during the S25 Ultra launch. Less than 1% people use the Bluetooth features. So it's not completely outside the realm of possibility that they're phasing it out again. Also, just look at the S Pen itself. It's different, more angular, kinda like the Apple Pencil. So does this mean we're switching to an active stylus design that requires a built-in battery like the Apple Pencil, where you need to charge it to even use it? That would be a pretty big shift. It's hard to say for sure right now because, again, we're working off a blurry render here. But what's clear is this: removing Bluetooth S Pen functions on the Tab S11 Ultra would be a huge mistake. If any device needs a Bluetooth S Pen, it's the tablets. These aren't just casual content consumption devices. People use them for productivity, note-taking, art, presentations, you name it. Removing it here makes zero sense, and I really hope that's not what Samsung's headed. Moving on, the cameras. The rear camera rings are gone. Now they look more like what we saw on the Z Fold 7. Not a huge deal, but it's a change. Next, let's talk about battery. According to Galaxy Club, and they've been a super reliable source, we're finally getting a bump in battery capacity. Since the Tab S8 Ultra back in 2022, battery size hasn't really changed. But with the S11 Ultra, we're looking at a rated capacity increase of about 500 mAh. That puts it at around 11,700 mAh, or maybe even a bit more. That's great news. The battery life on the S10 Ultra was already good, and this will stretch it a bit more. Now Samsung's also launching the base Tab S11, but there's no Plus model this time. And for that base model, the battery capacity is the same as the Tab S9, no surprises there. Now let's talk chipsets, and yeah, MediaTek is back. Samsung is using Dimensity 9400 Plus, and here's what the numbers look like: 2600 in single core and 8000 in multi-core. For comparison, the Tab S10 Ultra came in at around 2100 and 7200. So yeah, there's a performance bump here, but let's be honest, it doesn't come close to what the S25 Ultra is doing with the Snapdragon 8 Elite. That thing is at least a full generation ahead. Now sure, most people aren't gonna notice a dramatic difference between 8000 and 10,000 multi-core scores in real-world usage, but when you're paying $1,200 for a tablet, it does feel like corners are being cut here, even if they are small ones. Samsung is expected to launch these tablets in a couple of months, so we'll get our answers soon. But if you are more interested in the Z Fold 7, pre-orders are still live, although not for much longer, and Samsung's throwing in a bunch of perks if you pre-order now. I'll have the offer links in the description if you want to check that out. Also, if you missed it, I've got a video on how one company lied about their specs and how that move may have cost Samsung the title of world's thinnest foldable with the Z Fold 7. Click right here to watch that, and I'll see you there.